GB Cycles here with an update on May the 26th. So I was looking for a 2-week oscillation low coming up around maybe early next week, corresponding with this low in my 4-week cycle. But we see these previous lows were a little bit earlier. So I can't really say. We'll have a look at that in the hourly data. But I think we have a 10-week cycle, or a 10-week oscillation with a low coming up early July. Now the previous one was 14 weeks long, a bit unusual. Normally they are 10 or 12 weeks long, but I think this one will be 10 weeks. I'll come back to that very soon. We have the daily data wavelets for the S&P. And I have this scenario from this strong geomagnetic storm suggesting a top coming up maybe around next weekend. So this purple wavelet is identifying the 10-week cycle, and I have this primitive tool placing it at the wavelet top. It's about 26 trading days long, and it tells me to look for a low around this right endpoint. And basically, you know, this is just a 10-week oscillation around 50 trading days. So neutral cycle would suggest a top around here, but in the bull market the top will typically be a bullish right translated, and when looking for a low I place it at the top, and we should have a low around this endpoint. So we are approaching this wavelet top and should start looking for a top in the S&P. And another helpful tool is the VIX and the corresponding 10-week oscillation in VIX. And the VIX wavelet is now suggesting, it's an early warning that the VIX seems should start going up now, and the S&P is lagging, so the top in the S&P will typically be a little bit later. And I have these projections from the VIX wavelet. So this is the projection from the S&P low. It suggests there could be almost 2 weeks left with upside here, but this low in the VIX wavelet is generating a new projection, and that one tells the top may be just 1 week ahead of us, and then we should have some kind of a consolidation or correction pullback, making a 10-week cycle low. So I would, I could jump to this one. I have a gut feeling that we will follow some analogs from the 1970s, suggesting that we are in a kind of a sideways phase into around late June or early July. And so I don't think we will have a bullish breakout or continuation to the top here. We have to go more sideways, but then we could start breaking up late summer, and maybe backtesting this range, and then have the last surge to the bull market top, which could extend with the topping formation into the winter. Let's have a look at some cycles. And so this is, I will have a look at the 10-week cycle. So this is the ideal 10-week cycle in purple. And the market may or may not follow this ideal cycle, and we'll see how that works. So this low, the bear market low, was pretty much on the ideal cycle low. The next low was a little bit late, and also the next one also a little bit late, and this third one also a little bit late. And then it got a bit confusing, because at this ideal low we had something that may look like a 10-week cycle low, But my indicators didn't confirm it, and then we had this low. This is where my indicator said it was a 10-week cycle low. And see, we had this extended oscillation, and the low was at this mid-cycle low. And then we had the next cycle low also at this mid-cycle low, this one at the mid-cycle low, and then it again got a little bit confusing, because at this mid-cycle low we had something that looked like a possible very bullish cycle low, but my indicators then said this was a cycle low. So again we had an extended oscillation, and now we are back in phase with the ideal low. And the next ideal low is early July. And look at some other cycles. This is a composite of many cycles, and it has been suggesting some kind of a low is coming up this summer. But if we go back like here, we see in the bull market this is not a problem. It won't be really bearish. So we had this low a little bit late here, but nothing really bearish happening here. So although the composite is going down here, we don't have to see something really bearish, but it's some kind of a low in the summer. Another composite telling pretty much the same, but here I have added the 7-year cycle, and that one says we have this very bullish phase here going into March next year. So this one is a bit sideways into late summer, and then we should watch out for this surge around end of year and early next year. But that may still allow a topping formation. This could be a double top in the S&P, but I would watch out for this very bullish phase here. The hourly data for the Dow Jones Industrial. So we have a 2-week oscillation coming up here. It suggests around Tuesday maybe, but this looks like it could be a low, but there could be more downside here. I had these general scenarios for a rally, and they both suggested here in blue and green some kind of a sideways action, some kind of a low here. But the Dow Jones is actually behaving more bearish than normal. We broke here the 100-hour moving average. That really shouldn't happen here. We should have found support up here at this green moving average. So this is an early warning sign, but I still think we have to wait for a top at this point, at the next 2-week oscillation high. But with this weakness, that could mean we could see some kind of a double top here, and that's the warning, the weakness we are then should be looking for when we get to this point. Are we seeing momentum? Are we losing momentum? Are we starting to see a topping formation? If so, then maybe this rally phase is over. But I don't think we already have started the correction. We are getting close to some kind of a 2-week oscillation low, and then we have to see the next one. Can we make a new all-time high on the next one, or is it more like a double top? So, but I can't really say if we already have made the 2-week oscillation low. This one suggests maybe we should go a little bit lower, but looking at the wavelets, well, this blue one could turn down for a final dip. But the S&P and the tech, the Nasdaq looks more bullish. Anyway, from the VIX and so on, I think we should still have a pop-up for some kind of a final high in this 10-week cycle. So, hope that was helpful for you, and see you in the next one.